Hello, real estate investors. I'm Jana Cristo, and I'm the publisher of Rentsy and Passive Income Through Rentals. Today, we'll focus on how to grow your rental portfolio through the right financing. And to that end, I invited Michael Mikhail. He's the CEO of Stratton Equities. Hello, Michael. Good to see you.
You too.
Good. I just wanted, for the people who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about your company and the products that you offer to help real estate investors, especially those who can't get conventional financing?
Sure. My name is Michael Mikhail. I'm the CEO and founder of Stratton Equities. We're a nationwide direct private money and non-QM lender. It's not, something you said about who can't get traditional financing, and that's something that we're trying to change with a lot of education. I'll give you a quick example. It's traditional financing, which is an agency loan. So a bank or a large mortgage company, they're all the same. They all have the same guidelines. So it doesn't matter if you can secure traditional financing or not. Those guidelines on, let's just say, a 1 to 4 family investment property, you're maxed at 70% loan to value. So even if you can't get the financing, you're still maxed at 70 LTV. With our programs, our soft money programs, our rental programs, our no-doc programs, besides the fact that we don't look at tax returns, which is obviously huge for real estate investors, we can go to 85 LTV. So even if you can get qualified for a traditional 70 LTV loan, I much rather do a investment property at 85 LTV than 70, regardless. Obviously you want to put less money down so you can buy more property. So we're trying to get the information out there that's not necessarily if you can get approved or not for traditional, but for people to look at alternative methods of financing as their first option and as a better option, not an alternative option.
I understand. I wanted to ask you because I was watching some of your interviews and reading a lot about you. And I see that you see yourself more like a private money lender. Is that correct? And I was thinking, it's like when I think about private money lender, I always think about somebody who has like $500,000 to invest, and it could be a secret, you don't have to tell me, but how much do you have to invest? Because people think it's like, if I go to private money lender, they wouldn't have enough money for my needs. So
no, we're an institutional lender, so we don't run out of money, right? We're not a person that has X amount of dollars and we lend X amount of dollars, and when we're done, right? We're an institutional lender. So, technically, theoretically, we have billions and billions of dollars to lend because we're an institutional lender. So, some paper we hold, a lot of paper we sell. So obviously by selling paper, we're able to replenish and we can keep lending. So we've never come even close. As much volume as we do, we would never come close to hitting our numbers on maximum that we can lend.
Okay. And I also had one question, because I see a lot of investors who are selling their single family homes and they want to do 1031 exchange and maybe buy multifamily. How can you help them?
There's no problem. We do them all the time, 1031 exchange. So it's going to be the same thing. You're able to apply for the 85 LTV if you want a rental property loan, or if you're doing a fix and flip. Obviously, we have our fix and flip loan, so depending on what you're trying to do. But, that's really our two main programs, which then have multiple programs under them. We have either our bridge loans or we have our term loans, but we have multiple types of bridge and term loans. But we deal with people with 1031 exchange, all the time.
Okay. So, and another thing I wanted to ask you, because that was new to me, is soft money. What is the distinction between soft money and hard money lender, as people know it?
Well, it's a program, right? So like I wrote an article a couple years ago, hard money versus fix and flip, and it
Mm,
drives me crazy when everybody calls everything a hard money loan, and it's not. Bottom line, it's like calling all animals a dog, right? There's multiple animals and not all a dog.
right.
So a hard money loan is going to be a bridge loan. Number one, a hard money loan is
Mm-hmm.
going to be a bridge loan, so 12 to 24 months. Soft money loan
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a term loan, right?
Okay.
So that what we came out with our soft money program was a hybrid in between traditional financing and more private lending due
Mm-hmm.
to the guidelines, right? So we don't look at tax returns. There's no upfront fees in any of our loans, minus the appraisal, of course. There's no junk fees in any of our loans.
Mm-hmm.
We have the cleanest over programs. There's not a single dollar that we charge in junk fees. It's just what is needed to fund and close that loan. Um, so the soft money program starts at 4.375, which is extremely close to traditional bank financing, except obviously significantly faster to close, significantly higher LTV up to 85,
Mm-hmm.
no tax return. So it's great for investors, which is huge. It's a no doc program, so we don't care how long you've been at your job and have you moved jobs, and like a traditional loan, they make it impossible. If you move jobs, God help you to try to get a loan.
Mm.
And the big thing is with real estate investors is they move money around. If you try to go to a bank, if you move $1 from one account to the other, they want every single statement and why and who and when. I mean, it's impossible to close a loan. So we don't have those issues where we're going to look at every single thing and source every dollar and where's this and where's that. Obviously, you can't just put money from under the mattress and just shove it into it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that, but we're not nitpicking the way banks do on your finances behind the scenes, like which account. As long as things add up and the money is there, we should be good.
Okay. One question that I see very often is a lot of investors, they have already maxed what they can do with traditional banking.
Good question.
How um, in how do they approach you for that, or are you the best source
I think
for that type situation?
we don't have a max. Traditional financing
Mhm.
was 4, now it bumped up, I think, to more than 4. But we don't have a max. So I did a loan when I used to do loans for
Mhm.
a gentleman in Florida. I think I financed 46 homes for one borrower,
Wow.
all to LLCs. I think at different LLCs a couple years
Mhm.
ago. But we don't have a max on how many properties you can own. Everything we do, including our processing and our underwriting and our application, everything is designed for real estate investors,
Mhm.
right? Traditional
Mhm.
banks and traditional mortgage companies are just not set up to finance. They don't like it. They literally don't like lending to investment property. It's a fact. Anybody who's tried knows the harder somebody makes it, that means that they don't like it. They're trying to avoid that business.
Right.
They want to lend to owner occupied properties. So,
Mhm.
we are, in my opinion, the premier company for real estate investors, especially having the widest range of programs under any one roof. And the company
Mhm.
was designed that way. Most companies have 1 or 2 programs. We have over 20, 30 programs. So if we can't finance somebody, they're probably not going to get financed anywhere else.
Yes. That's I actually see that very often, that people, because they're so used to, as real estate investors, they go to their bank, they get a loan, they buy a rental property, and they reach this point where, what do I do now? I mean, where do I go to get to the next step? So that's good to know. And they usually start calling for portfolio lenders to find somebody who would finance that, and there are very few of those. I guess so. You will be a good next step after they max their local, um,
Well,
the
like I said, we should be the first
facilities
step. We should be the
for.
first step, and I'll tell you why, right? Because A, if you're a new investor, a bank's gonna make it very difficult to get a loan.
Mhm.
B, if you're getting a loan at a bank, you're gonna put down 30%. So you're gonna eat up a lot more of your liquid cash. So you're gonna buy less properties. You come to us
Right.
80, 85% instead of 70, which is a
Mhm.
lot of money. So
Mhm.
buy more properties. We're going to close easier. We're going to close faster. We're going to
Mhm.
close to an LLC. You know, a lot of people, a lot of banks do not close to an LLC. People know this. So a lot
Right.
of
Yes.
banks need to close to a personal name.
Mhm.
Nobody should ever buy an investment property and put in their personal name for multiple reasons: taxes, liabilities. Investment property, I don't care if it's a one family or the Taj Mahal, it should be in a corporation, a C Corp, an S Corp, an LLC for a lot of reasons. A lot of
Mhm.
banks do not close in LLCs. So this is where we're trying to push the information, which is all education right now,
Mhm.
is we should be, companies like mine should be the first source for real estate investors, not down the road when they max out, or we're trying to get the information out there to know about us first so they can reach out to us first. It's going to take a lot of education. There's a lot of reasons for that because, the big thing is a lot of companies like mine do not do mainstream advertising, right? We have certain publications, I'm not
Mhm.
going to name any names, that they stay within, and your average person doesn't know about those publications. So when they type in, Google an investment property loan or whatever, the traditional stuff comes up,
Mhm.
bank rate comes up, or Experian blogs come up. And these companies do not do advertising. Well, let me rephrase that. Companies like mine really don't advertise with those kind of companies. So when those blogs and all that information comes up on Google for a new investor, and they see the mainstream, a Credit Karma and whatnot, they don't really talk ever about companies like ours. So that's what
Mhm.
we're doing now, which is a lot of work, by the way, to get into that mainstream advertising and mainstream
Mhm.
editorials, so that when people go on Google, they don't have to look at the 100th page on Google. It's on the first couple of pages to understand companies like
Yeah.
ours and what we can offer.
I honestly, I wish I knew about you when I started investing because I made the stupid mistake of getting four partners. And every time I did a rehab and I sold, I had to split it in four. And after that, I was thinking, it's like, gee, I mean, there was a better way, but then I wasn't aware of everything. And you learn as you talk to people and you learn. So
Well,
um
again, this notion that the bank is the best option, that's what I'm trying to change
yes,
now.
exactly.
It's not the best option, right? Just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's better. But people, I'll give you a great example. People want a 30-year fixed. It's just
Mhm.
that my father got a 30-year fix and his father got a 30-year fix. Statistically, I think it's 95% of people are not going to keep a 30-year mortgage, right? You're going to refinance or you're going to sell within the first 7 years. So the only benefit of a 30-year mortgage is that it's fixed for 30 years, but
Mhm.
it's the highest interest rate mortgage. And generally, I mean, we have an interest only option for 10 years, but generally it doesn't come interest only. So you're not seeking the benefits of the financing. You're paying more money per month. Now, if you have an
Right.
investment property, it's all about cap rate. It's all about cash flow. So
Yes.
you're going to want to do a 5-1 arm or a 7-1 arm. You're going to want to go interest only because you want to keep your costs as low as possible and then increase your cap rate.
Mhm.
And people just, I want 30-year fixed. Okay. It's not the right way to go because they just think it's the best mortgage. This is what I want. And that's not the case. I mean, I bought 56 properties in my career so far, and I haven't bought anything for a year and a half. Due to COVID, I've been very busy.
Yeah.
But I've never bought a 30-year fix. They've all been interest only. They've all been 5-1 arms, 7-1 arms,
Mhm.
and it's lower. People look at the rate. It's not the rate; it's the payment, right? You're not paying a rate, you're paying a payment.
Thing.
So I don't care, on interest only, your rate's going to be a little higher, but your payment, depending on your loan amount, could be hundreds and hundreds. If you're in the millions, it'd be thousands of dollars less a month on an interest only payment rather than going for a 30-year fix. Now, what people don't understand is people go, oh, well, I want to pay principal. Okay, so statistically, when you do a fully amortized 30-year fixed mortgage, you aren't paying, and you make your payment every single month,
Mhm.
you aren't touching your principal to like year 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, imagine you had $1,000 a month mortgage payment on a 30-year fix, right?
Mhm.
And let's say you had an interest-only payment of $750 a month. So
Mhm.
that's $250 less a month. You can take the interest-only option. You're gonna owe $750 every single month. You can still make the $1,000 a month payment as if you were fully amortized, but now you're paying $250 a month to your principal from month one. People don't understand this. You try to explain
Yeah.
to people, it's like, oh, it just doesn't work. I want 30-year fixed. I don't want interest only. There's these notions of like bad mortgages or this is not right.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to, some people get it, I mean, if you break it down, you take a 30-year mortgage, you're paying it for 8 years. How much principal you paid in those 8 years? Virtually nothing. You take that same mortgage, sold on interest only, save $250 a month times 250 versus the 8 years, and see how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month you'd be paying towards your principal. Not just that, if you have a slow month, if it's the holidays, you want to keep more money in your pocket, you only owe $750. How can you say no to that kind of a mortgage? But people,
I think it's something from 2008 and the
yeah,
everything that happened. It's just left over. But we're talking about investors. We're not talking about, you know, homeowners. So we're talking about people who are a little bit more sophisticated, and they should use those tools to get more properties and grow their rental portfolio, and that's how they can do it.
you would
It's
think.
yeah. You would think.
You would think. I mean, people, I mean, there's multiple options and things that we strategize. I'm very creative in structuring loans. Like I'll give you a great example. People go and they say, "Oh, I want a bridge," right? So a bridge loan is going to be 7, 8, 9%. Why do you want a bridge? I want a bridge because I'm not going to keep this property for long. Okay, so we can do a 5-1 arm. We can buy out the prepay, right? So technically, it's a bridge, right? So you have a 5-1 arm, but you're buying out the prepay. So there's no prepay. So instead of going into a bridge at 8, 9, 10, 11%, whatever your bridge loan rates are, our rates are a little lower than that, you can start in the 4s. You're going to have about a 3/4 of a bump for buying at the prepay. So you can still get into a 5-1 arm and do interest only, because a bridge interest only, 5-1 arm and interest only, and you can buy out the prepay. So you're not going to be locked in. So you can sell whenever you want. And your rates will be in the 5s instead of your rates being in the 7s or 8s, which will save you a significant amount of money. There's another option.
It's true, but it's hard to change people's thinking. And as you said, like education is sometimes hard.
Well, that's what my goal is for now. Well, we're now moving forward is a lot more education, a lot more blogs, a lot more articles. I don't find, I think people get more out of blogs and videos and interviews, and then they do articles. I think people probably don't read them all, so they don't get the gist of what's being said. So that's why we're doing a lot more of this, and we're pushing a lot more on the educational pieces. So hopefully we can turn the corner and turn a curve where people can understand the better options that are out there. I mean, I'm really doing this to try to help people out, as much as possible. And it's just disheartening when people just don't get it.
Yes.
They're hurting themselves.
Yes, it's very hard to get through this comfortable zone when you have like couple of properties, and that's why most real estate investors have like 4, 5 properties tops, just because it's hard to break through that barrier into, hey, how can I get more properties? And you're the right person to talk to. And from what I'm understanding, it's best to come to you with a scenario rather than telling you, hey, I want a bridge loan. It's like, hey, this is what I want to do. What would be the best loan? Is that what I'm hearing?
Our loan officers don't talk to people that just say, oh, I want a loan, right?
Right.
You have the whole scenario, they have all the information.
Yeah.
We are so busy. I can't even tell you how busy we are. So everything's built here on an assembly line, right? So you got to come in right, and then it'll go out right. So if somebody doesn't have the information, or they don't have a true scenario, get the information, then they can reach out to us. Obviously, it's StrattonEquities.com, info StrattonEquities.com, 800-962-6613, which is our 800 number, which goes to our sales team. They have to have their information and know exactly what they're trying to do, and then they can feel free to reach out to us, and then we will guide them in the best way possible.
Okay. Yes. And I forgot. I had a question that I forgot to ask you. I'm always interested in what's going on because I see real estate investment from my little world. I mean, what are the deals that are closing? What are the other investors doing?
So, unfortunately, due to COVID,
Mhm.
call it COVID, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, who knows what, but property values we all know have skyrocketed over the past year.
Mhm.
So real estate investors are having, especially on the East Coast, especially
Mhm.
like Florida or where I live by
Mhm.
New York, they're not getting deals right now because they're being outbidded
Right.
by end users.
Mhm.
So whole deal of getting an investment property, especially being able to qualify for a fix and flip, you got to buy below market value.
Mhm.
You can't buy below market value if people who want to live in the home are paying 50, 60 grand over market
Mhm.
value. So we're very lucky that we have such a wide range of programs and great programs, because if we were like other companies only doing bridge loans,
Mhm.
then we would have, we wouldn't be doing that much financing right now.
Mhm.
Most of our bridge loans that we're doing are either people with lower credit scores or a foreclosure bailout program, which
Mhm.
we have our foreclosure bailout program, which is very popular. But in regards to fix and flips, very scarce right now.
Mhm.
90% of our portfolio are our soft money loans, our no doc loans, our commercial loans. Last year and a half, 2 years ago, we had a decent amount, maybe 40% of our loans were fix and flip and bridge
Mhm.
loans. Now it's a very small percentage. So we're very thankful that we have the programs under one roof that we have,
Mhm.
um, because then we wouldn't be doing much business.
Right. It's do you see a lot of people do you see a lot of multifamily deals?
Yeah, we get a lot of multifamilies, 5 plus,
Yeah.
5 to 20 units is the bulk of it.
Mhm.
That's what I like to invest in is,
Mhm.
5 to 30 units,
Yep.
give or take. So, yeah, we get a lot of those. We get a lot of multifamily loans.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, we do a lot. I mean, I'm not sure really right now, 'cause I haven't looked at the numbers. If we do more 1 to 4s, but we definitely do a lot of 5 plus.
Yeah. Well, this is not easy to come by, but it's a
Well, it depends on
g-
what states. Like Ohio,
yeah.
tremendous state for multifamilies. They're very inexpensive in Ohio
Mhm.
or states like that. That's where you're really seeing most of them. I mean,
Mhm.
we have closed them in the more urban areas like Patterson, Newark,
Mhm.
where you see more multifamily properties up here. Queens, Long Island. I don't think Long Island. Actually, we do in Long Island. But there's a lot when you go out west or you go up north a little bit. There's definitely a lot. Like Ohio has a tremendous amount of multifamily properties, and they're very cheap.
Yeah. Not much.
Pennsylvania. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Pennsylvania that we're getting. You go out, a couple hours from where we are, you can buy multifamily for like 120 grand.
This that
Here,
was
it costs you $1 million.
that was my that's probably going to be my next interview because I'm very personally very interested in multifamily because for me that's the next step and for many people that I see because they want to sell, the prices are high, and but then when they find out how much they have to pay in taxes, they understand that much better to reinvest and go bigger. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing about real estate, going bigger is true, right?
yeah,
If you stay too small, your profits are small,
yeah.
you're doing a lot of work for a little
Hmm.
profit, and you can't keep growing your portfolio. So you're going to want to go bigger. And again,
Hmm.
with the programs we offer, we're putting less money down. You can go bigger, right? If
Hmm.
you put down 15% instead of 30%,
Hmm.
obviously that's a big number. You can definitely go bigger. You can buy more properties, and you can spread. And also, we're putting them in LLCs without having a cap. You can buy. I
Hmm.
mean, you can buy as much as you have liquid. If you have the money liquid and your
Hmm.
ducks are in order and your credit score is good, then you can just keep buying till you're blue in the face.
Yeah, true. So we kind of went over our time, but um, if somebody wants to find out more about your programs, where they should go and how they should contact you.
Everything's on the website, StrattonEquities.com.
Okay.
Want to call us, it's 800-962-6613. If you
Mhm.
want to email us, it's info@StrattonEquities.com.
Okay.
But everything's on the website.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you, Michael.
I appreciate
I
your time.
appreciate you doing this.
Pleasure.
And hopefully we'll get you again. Um,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Bye bye.
Bye.